Okay, so this is July 12th, 2023, DAO call. And I guess here's David and Rochelle with their updates on how things are going.
Okay, sorry, I was just popping the call out so I could click through and make sure I speak about everything we want to update on. So I need just a moment.
Yeah. So indeed, things have been a bit slow these past 2 weeks. Because he wasn't able to get around to publishing the dashboard. I'm not really sure why. I'll need to bug him in order to get him to publish it. And but besides that, there are no proposals this cycle. There are also no agenda items. The one big update is that we've been working on the label box for LAION. So we finally have a proper front end for him that Chris can actually take a look at all of the results properly. And I've been working around with it, and it's a really good tool actually. I think there's a lot of potential here of incorporating the label box tool deeper into how we label data going forward. So I'm really imagining that we'll start using all of their different templates for data labeling instead of building out our own things. We'll start leaning on label box a bit more. I can share a link with you that you can take a look at the latest campaign or task batch we ran. I'd like to get your feedback on it. Where's a good spot for me to drop? There's a chat here, right?
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay, so what am I looking at here?
So that first one all the way up at the top is at the table. That's one batch. It's 200 tasks. You can click on it then, and it'll drop down another table below it with then individual tasks, and you can click on them and then see the template and the results loaded into the template. So this is kind of like the data that Chris would be interested in. So it's an interface for then people who want to see how their tasks were done.
I see. Yeah, this is pretty neat. Make sure to share this with Chris too. I mean,
Yeah.
keep him updated.
Indeed.
And this is part of
been too long. Like we've been
sorry,
working in this on Indeed and making sure that we publish batches and we get some proper campaigns. I think we've been working on this for 2 weeks now, and the first couple of batches didn't go well. Just having issues with the data properly loading in and whatnot. But yeah, I'm excited to share this with him, and I think he might actually find this useful, even though it's not very pretty. But at least it's usable.
And then too, this also shows, the worker ID and like the time it was submitted. And we identified a couple of the workers on here, either some tasks were done okay. Some were not the greatest. Instructions weren't followed. I know a couple of them. I noticed the text in the image was upper and lowercase mixed, and what they input was all caps. And so that is not how the directions of the task said to do things. So a couple other, I think they were just, I don't know, use the term loosely, scammed. So this experiment, this one was done with just workers with a human qualification. I have this same data set. David gave it to me. I'm gonna rerun this one again and use that special qualification that I handed out to known workers that I have a working relationship with. So I guess you could say trusted workers to do. And then I'm going to compare the results with, between the two batches to see. Of course, all this is being done without a qualifier test in place, since this is still mostly in the planning stages.
This is actually really nice.
And until we don't know how we're going to fund this or proceed, working with Chris,
like I'm looking at it right
what he
now,
wants
and
to do.
you can basically view each task, and you can also like verify. Like I'm looking at their labels and also the box, right? So
Yeah,
this is actually really great because then, like maybe if you could add just like one more thing, if you could just easily like I guess say you could have like a moderator just like manually scroll through these, and then just downvote any bad ones, and then after that get a list of the good workers, and then you can just iterate this process, and then you can get like the best workers doing
yeah,
the sets. And so I think
yeah. So
this is
if the
pretty good.
qualifier was in place, I think the results right off the bat would be great, excellent. David brought up a good point when him and I were discussing this, that he created. It'd be really nice right next to the view button, or even when like you hit view when you're looking at a task. Um, while you have that task up, say you don't like it, like it was done just completely wrong, there's a way to repost just that task to have it redone. So
Yeah,
that,
exactly. So I don't think that's properly implemented yet, but there should be a mechanism where you can reject the task, but because it's already paid for, then it doesn't go then to the worker. It just gets reused then for another worker to pick it up.
yeah,
I think that might be a good mechanism in order to where you can moderate the task and you can get proper results out of it without relying too much on the qualification. Even though I do think the qualification is still a good idea, but um, yeah, we'll just have to rely a little bit more on moderation, I think, going forward. And just having such an easier interface makes it a lot easier to then verify that the tasks were done properly.
yeah. I just think the whole thing is great. Just even the task template, being able to pull from label box and integrate completely, with all of that. And then this too, seeing the results and going through the results, and everything just being able to show properly and stuff. It's a feat in itself. So I am so psyched and pleased with this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think this thing, like I think could like I can even just envision Chris himself just like looking all of these and then just okaying which workers each time, and then it gets better every time. And like I think that already will help like get more and more tasks done.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, it'll also help him almost curate his workforce, because as he keeps like approving, if he just notes down like some worker IDs of, workers that he keeps noticing are doing consistently well, he could give them a separate qualification, and then when he has images that are difficult or like more involved, or that take more time, like have more boxes of text in them that need annotated, those cost more. So then he would pay more for those tasks, to the workers, but then he would have his group of trusted workers that he could put on those, and knowing that, okay, when I load these tasks of images that have so much text, and I'm paying the workers more for them, and I'm paying for these things up front by loading them onto the platform, I know that that money's going to be put to good use and not just, have to go through and reject a bunch and things. So it's a way for him to not only tailor his workforce, but also make his funds the most used in the most cost effective way. So
Yeah, indeed. I'm still not sure though, like how we would kind of give him access to be able to curate the workforce, because like we're managing the campaign right now.
yeah.
But I'm guessing we could sit down with him and or give him a special permission that he can also then access certain tasks or be able to do certain actions. But yeah, like it's definitely something that we can think about. But yeah, I think this for now, this is like a pretty good prototype, and we can keep leaning on this as well, and try to find a data set somewhere and just use that as something that we can just continually keep pushing tasks onto the platform as well, so that we have like an active group of users that are actually doing tasks every day. Because we had that previously with the Twitter tasks, but yeah, as you probably know, Twitter is a bit of a yeah, like it feels like that whole boat is going under at the moment, and we need something else to be able to fill in that void. So I think this is a good thing to fill in that void with, and I feel like it's much more true as well to what the ideals and the motivation for starting Effect Network was.
Yeah, I yeah, definitely hope. Yeah, I definitely like make these updates to Chris, because I think he'll be very interested. Because I think LAION in general will be a great way to show off what we can do. Just building a big data set. I think even with the tasks, like I think we have a good amount in the AI fund, right? So like once we get the process down, I think we can definitely go for like a big amount, at least a good portion of the AI fund.
Yeah, yeah, indeed. I'm not sure how much it is, but indeed,
Well,
it's
he said
something we
like
should.
maybe like, well, he said like one of the numbers he threw out to me, like of the images that need to be done, like it could be up to like 10 million, but like I think the starter set that I think we want to get done is 100,000. That's what I
That's still a
remember.
lot. That's a huge amount. That's that's an exciting amount to think about. But yeah, definitely, indeed.
But yeah,
I'll do a
like
write up to Chris,
the
and we can
yeah,
iterate on this a little bit further.
yeah, definitely do that, because I think like my personal opinion is and it remains to be that like I think it's easy enough to make your template and make the DApp. It's the worker management that's tricky, and like the tool you're working on, I think could definitely be used for that. To so that because I think like I don't know, Rochelle, a while ago you were building this validation service, but I don't know, it seemed to kind of simmer down. But I think like some sort of tool to manage your workers, you know, so you can filter out, like you could start off with cheap tasks to just find out which workers are the best and most serious, and then just even moderating yourself to find the best workers, I think, is a very good way to like get consistently good work.
Yeah, I'm still actively developing it. It's some features that I want built in on like kind of like the requester side of the UI, with the UI updates for Effect Force. So, yeah, there's some features and buttons and like sorting, um, uh, I guess, I want to say like modules or interfaces on like the requester thing, like when you can see your campaign results and like the completed tasks. You know how you can hit the eyeball to view and things. There's some buttons I want to have put into where you can reject the task. Um,
Yeah, like some of the things I've done for them, this interface, I should be able to do that for the force as well.
yeah,
And so just like in general, like to have that have these features like already makes it so much easier to just like quickly go through them, and instead of like um, doing all of the grunt work necessary to like load it in and then copy paste the links and whatnot, it should be much easier. So uh, I'll be taking a look at that soon.
and then when we do have those features in place, there'll also be in-depth how-to guides and tutorials, linked nearby closely, in relevant spots that point the person, whether they're a requester or a worker, to helpful information to make the experience completely, um, better and intuitive and you know, just really support people on both sides of the spectrum, with getting work done on our platform. So,
Yeah, I did notice like going through it myself. It's very tedious to go through the different steps of selecting the annotation box and then filling in the annotation. Uh, I've been kind of imagining that like all of those little steps could also be broken down into like a task. So like right now, like you have to do like the whole process for one image, and I think that's where a lot of people kind of give up when a particular image is too difficult. They just give up,
yeah.
and so
When I
I
initially
imagine
Go ahead.
I imagine a better process would be um, every time, for example, like somebody is they pick up a task, and the initial part would be then just like creating the label box, and then afterwards that a new task would be created off of the back of that one to be able to fill in the content of that specific label box. And
That
so it would go through this iterative process until it ends up as a completely labeled with all of the necessary data.
that's what I originally designed, with that plan that I shared in Drive.
Mm.
And then Jesse was like, "Well, that's pretty in depth." Because I was like, immediately, as soon as we got this, I made this huge giant plan and rollout and how the order of things would go, and one would feed into the other, and yeah, it was just insane. I wrote a book like I always do. And Jesse was like, "That is great. It's a solid plan, but this is still in the beginning, and gotta make sure everything technically can work first. So let's do the testing and the build with everything in one, and then we if it's gonna be feasible and this is really gonna be a go, then we can split it into the three different ones." So yeah, I have three different qualifier tasks designed. I have three different tasks designed. I have the whole validation process for each of them, the qualification process for each of them. And yeah, it's all made up. It's like a million things. So I I got
Okay.
it all, and I'm just like, okay, now I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for the tech and the fine tuning with that and stuff, and
Okay.
then
Then.
can go. Yeah, I shared this with you.
Yeah, it could be like that's probably where like I got this idea from. But indeed,
Probably.
um,
There's so many things. There's so many things going on.
indeed. No, but yes, we should definitely take a look at that. Like after the hackathon, I think then we'll be able to have some time to work on something like that.
Yeah. So yeah, it's going great so far.
So speaking of the hackathon, how's the progress of that going?
It's going smoothly. Gabby has been working a considerable amount, having meetings and talks and notes and planning. She's really spearheaded this, and she is like the go-to person for organizing all of it. So we're all working along with her. When she needs us to do certain parts, it's still a lot of things with figuring the budget, exact dates, who's partnering with what, who's sponsoring what part of it, and things. And I know she has a marketing plan already, a skeleton outline already built around it. Um, Now it's just left to the decision makers with budgets and finances, with the other um, entities and Jesse to fine tune like the actual goes with things. So it's going along good. It just takes time, you know, people in their different workloads and time zones and stuff, and with their own projects, events and tech things to get everything to gel at the same time. So
Is Gabby in Netherlands with you all, David?
Yes, she is living in the Netherlands indeed, but she's always working remotely, so I don't really see her that often, or
Okay.
at all, actually.
Then is she able to make the next DAO calls?
see if she
Yeah,
can
I
make
can
the
ask
next
her to.
one.
Yeah, it would be nice to have her updates as well.
And by the time the next DAO call comes, we'll have more concrete dates and stuff, I think, as well.
Right. So August is for sure then.
So far.
Indeed, like it is supposed to happen in August, but
I know you wanted to complete some qualifications updates. How are those going?
I didn't manage to get around to them.
Okay.
I know I'm resuming them. I had a little bit of time off around the fourth holiday. Um, so I was kind of working part time. Um, while I had holiday time off and family visiting and a few short trips. You know how the 4th of July is really weird being in the middle of the week. So, but I had a whole week of light work to get done, or that I worked. I put in a little bit less hours, um, but I am back full steam ahead this week. So Monday and Tuesday were catch up days, and today is just organizing and planning day. Um, Going through all my backlog, and the qualifications ones were up there. I have to go through and make sure anyone waiting on a pending qual has it. And I have a folder to open of qualifications in progress, like just standard ones. Revamping the English proficiency, basic English proficiency one that is still ongoing. And then exploring relevant ones that could be standalone or used in part with a combination of others for our everyday offerings for requesters for free, like a basic set of like free ones that are just built in for people to use on our platform. And of course, that always leads me down the rabbit hole of specialized ones we could create that would be lucrative, that could be upsells and profitable for the DAO to use and get a revenue on too. So that's that stuff. But that's my jam. So that's like my favorite part of what I do. So for me right now, it's cleaning up the boring things that I don't really love too much so I can get back to doing the stuff I really love. My computer freeze?
No, no, it's just
Oh, okay.
silence.
There it goes.
No, yeah, you're fine. Indeed.
Okay. Cat killer again. Sorry.
Was there anything else important that we need to talk about? Because we do have to get going soon.
I think you covered the updates. Yeah, just remember to update Chris, because I think LAION is always interested in people who help build up, their data sets. So it's I think that'll definitely be a great resource for us to get close to.
I agree. I'll also get Gabi to publish an update about the hackathon this week, because we really need to get on top of that and make sure that at least we have some marketing material out there, and to start letting people know that we're doing the hackathon. And it's
Yeah, I've been following. Do you remember Eden on EOS?
yes.
So I posted an article in the general chat forum. So uh, they're kind of like trying to figure out what their DAO should do, and they're settling on like becoming like a incubator accelerator for like basically the EOS platform. And so I
Okay.
think
Nice.
so. Yeah, I'm trying to. I think I helped set up a interview with he's called Nova Crypto with Jesse, and I think they'll have one. I don't know when it'll be though. But anyway, I think I sent them a message. I think there's a definitely potential for collaboration and like maybe being partners. But I don't know, like with Eden on EOS, it's kind of like their DAO is kind of the exact opposite of ours, in the sense that it's like super bureaucratic. Like they're really like talking about the bylaws and like all these papers on like what Eden should do, and like they're making all these circle committees, which is similar to what you wanted for Effect DAO, but they're like codifying it and everything. And yeah, so I don't know, like I don't know what their timeline is on when they'll actually start doing the incubation accelerator stuff. But I think it's the direction they're heading towards. And since I think like we're basically one of the few dApps running on EOS still, right? So I think there's definitely some synergy there, and all Effect dApps naturally run on EOS too. So I'm hoping we can set something up, but that's just what I'm thinking of. Nothing concrete has happened.
Okay, yeah, that would be great. I can imagine indeed they have some funds and they want to start using it a bit more proactively. And I'm not sure how that would work, but yeah, it sounds really interesting.
Though the way I just envision it is, I know in the hackathons we're seeking partners, so they could be like a partner as well, and I could contribute, say, like 2,500 EOS to a prize pool for like whatever their favorite application is that they want to like continue in like the incubator program or something like that, and it could just help drive more participation in the hackathons.
Yeah, yeah. Gabby's the one that like has managed to line up a couple of partnerships, and I think so. For now, we're done. But if actually we can get some more funds, I think that would be always welcome. But the idea is also as well, like to do another hackathon later this year. So maybe they would be a good partner then for that hackathon instead of this one.
Well, I think that will be the case too, since they're, as I said, they're bureaucratic. So this whole thing may be only possible for them to do like a few months from now, anyway. So that's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
But what, like I read Lenny sent me the bylaws, and I think they're interested in doing like frequent hackathons. So not only could we, I think, have them as a partner like on our effect hackathons, it would be great if we could also like contribute a prize pool if they have hackathons too. So yeah, like I'm keeping on top of it, and if there's any time for establishing something concrete, I'll let Gabby know.
Yes, please. Yeah, that would be great. I really do need to get going though. But yeah, thanks for the updates, and yeah, we'll be in touch.
Bye, David.
See you.
Bye.
Run you. Bye bye.
Yeah,
Bye.
talk later.